Welcome to MMT Chats. This episode brought to you by ISCAR with new ideas for machining intelligently. Welcome to the MMT studio. I'm Christina Fuges with MoldMaking Technology, and I am here with Lester Jones with Custom Mold and Design. Hello, Lester.
Hi, Christina. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
So it has been quite a while. I mean, we are celebrating 25 years. Custom Mold has been very active with us, and actually across a lot of the Gardner brands, I think we've covered quite a bit about what Custom Mold has done.
Yes, you have.
There was a certain period of time where when I visited the shop, it was all about your Yazda machines, your arsenal of machine technologies, really. It was about the culture of custom mold, and we even got into the hybrid additive machine and your strategy with that and the challenges and the benefits of it.
Yep.
What the heck has happened since then?
Lots happened. I think the last time that we really sat down and talked was probably about 2019, so several years have gone by. We still are proud of our arsenal of machining equipment, and we still are a believer in the Yazda brand. We now have 10 Yazdas, so we've added a few new machines. The VI40 was our latest addition. We've got 2 of them now, and it has really helped us specialize, I'll say, in the liquid silicone, metal injection molding, the tight tolerances for the shutoffs and things like that. The equipment has really helped us. It's always a combination of the equipment, the software, the tooling, and the people.
And the people, yep.
But they are a real foundational piece for us. So that's been a really good thing for us. We continue to pursue those acquisitions. We've also, one of the latest things we've done is we also have set up a new graphite machining cell where we are using a Yazda, a linear motor machine. So it's extremely accurate. It's a 5-axis machine. In the past, we had been machining electrodes with a 3-axis machine, longer cutters, more vibration, a little bit less accuracy, more cutter wear, that kind of stuff. So we put in a cell. Now we're machining our graphite wet with dielectric fluid. And in that 5-axis machine, we've got a WorkPal robot that can change out the tooling to the spindle and also then the work pieces. So a big push towards more automation, which I think all of us in this industry are.
Is that driven a little bit by lack of people?
You got it. And people getting old.
Yeah, there you go. Seasoned. You're getting more seasoned.
Yeah, seasoned, and retirement's getting closer all the time. So that's been a big addition, trying to put more automation on the shop floor with some of our more sophisticated machines. So we now have got 6 5-axis machining centers. That's gotten to be, I can't imagine that we'll buy another 3-axis machining center in our future. Yeah, that's old deal. So keep moving forward on that.
How about the hybrid and additive? Where do you see that?
The hybrid machine. So we keep watching that. I think there's 2 challenges that we face. So we purchased a hybrid machine for additive and spent about a year with that machine on our floor and put in a tremendous amount of effort on it. And there were kind of 2 things that had us, we actually exited that effort, and we have bought some inserts produced by some of the people that are selling that service. Some of them are here today. And there's kind of 2 things that happen. Number 1 is, to me, in my mind, one of the best things about additive is the ability to put conformal cooling into the inserts. We are also a molder. We own molding companies, so we understand the value that can bring. The challenge in the industry, though, is I think that when we go to sell that tool with conformal cooling in it, we're selling it to a guy that's used to buying tooling, and they aren't buying plastic parts. And they are rewarded and incentivized to buy tooling at the right prices and meet the objectives of that part of the business and not so much the part side of the business. And if we can save them money on the part production, but the tool costs more, not so much interest. So I believe strongly that there will be a time where we get to the top of that pyramid and we find somebody that has responsibility for parts and tooling, and it'll be successful. When we got out of that, I am 100% sure that we'll end up with another machine in the facility at some point in time. There are also, at the time that we're involved, some issues with warpage, cracking. We're warranting tools for 1 million+ cycles. Is that additive manufactured insert going to survive that long or not? Are we going to be responsible? So there's a lot of questions in the industry, I think, about that.
It changes daily, the innovation that's going on.
Yeah. So I think that stuff will get licked. I think that there are people putting energy into making inserts and other methods that create a more stable product, and they'll end up taking over at some point in time. But we kind of were faced with the conundrum of being that guy that bought the machine a few years ago. We have the most expensive machine. Today there's a machine here on the show floor that their list price is half of what we paid for the machine we had.
Exactly.
And it's probably faster than what we had at that time. So 5 years from now, the machines will be that much cheaper, that much faster.
Yep.
We would have been stuck with the old technology at a much higher price.
Don't they say sometimes it's not worth it to be the first one in, right?
The bleeding edge of technology.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's where we felt we were going to be there. It's good to be on the leading edge, but sometimes it's a little bit too early. So those are the kinds of things that are going on. Continue to work on trying to attract young people to the industry.
Yep.
That's obviously, we're trying to figure out ways to run machines with less people, but we got to bring in some folks to replace those of us that are getting
on the way
up
out
there in age. Yeah.
It's very hard for people to let go, though.
Yeah, it is.
I think the owner feels that way too.
Yeah. It ends up being something you can't let go.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So we can't not talk about, because I got a press release a couple weeks ago. There's a rebranding. Can you talk a little bit about what this rebranding is when everyone's so familiar with custom mold and design and Team Vantage and Paradigm? Talk a little bit about that.
Yep. So a few years ago, it's about 2.5 years ago now, Ray Newkirk and I sold the companies to Graham Partners, and we've been working with them for all that time. There's some efforts being put into kind of creating an overall brand for the company. Decisions have been made that it's Velocity. Is the name that's been introduced. Custom Mold is going to always be Custom Mold, a Velocity company. It's a little bit different in that we deal with all kinds of people. Sometimes there are even competitors of the molding company, and so we're going to leave that under the brand, but it's a little bit out there sideways. We're going to continue to utilize that custom mold design brand. Ray and I were talking, we've got 58 years that company was started ago at Custom Mold, so there's a long legacy there.
Yes.
It really means something to a lot of people, whether that's certainly customers, also to potential employees. There's a lot of mold makers in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area that know Custom Mold and design.
Brand equity.
They know what it stands for. They aspire to maybe work there someday, and so we want to keep that connection.
I think that is something exciting. Yeah. There's a lot of that going on where you kind of have to reinvent yourself and put some meaning behind what the common goal is moving forward. All right.
We're trying to be a one-stop solution for customers, so we want to make it apparent that all that stuff goes together.
So once it comes in, you're doing it all, right? All right. Last but not least, we're celebrating 25 years of MoldMaking Technology.
Congratulations.
And this is this is our commemorative Top 10 Reasons to be a Mold Maker t-shirt. But I want to ask you, what excites you about the next 25 years in mold making?
I just think that changes. I got involved in the industry. I walked into this will be hard, walked into a mold shop in 1980.
1980?
Yeah, didn't know anything. And it's been a great career for me. I really enjoyed it. I'm in a spot now where I'm working a couple days a week, so I'm kind of on the very edge of retirement.
You are pulling back.
1 foot in and 1 foot out. And I look at the stuff that I did in the early 80s and what I thought was really hard to do. And then I look at the stuff that the guys are doing today. We're cutting with 6,000ths diameter end mills in hardened tool steel. And it's like, it just blows my mind. And you think about where that's all going. Yep. Amazing future. We need manufacturing. We're going to keep making plastic parts. We're going to need tooling for that. Some of the young people that come along, we've got machines today that have sensors on them that can measure vibration and measure sound from the machine and can tell us when, prior to the cutter breaking, when it needs to be changed. It's incredible, and it just keeps coming faster and faster and faster.
It does.
And it's neat, and that's why Ray and I keep coming to stuff like this, and probably will never stop.
And you shouldn't.
We're making plans to go to NPE so that we
Good.
can take a little vacation and show up down there.
Yeah.
Walk
Because
around
it's a
and see what's
community,
new.
right?
It is.
And it's like you grow up in it. I know
Yeah.
exactly what you feel.
A lot of friends.
Yeah.
A lot of friends in the industry, and that's what part of what's beautiful about it.
It is. Oh, thank you for sharing that, Lester.
You bet.
All right. For everything mold making, visit moldmakingtechnology.com.